Hi, my name's Steve Ringer and welcome to Skill School. Right, I'm here today at Makins Fishery. I'm on Lake 2, Peg A8 to those that know the venue. Got a nice little island in front of me, about a 30-yard cast to the island. What I'm doing is fishing the Method up to the island into the shallow water, casting on a regular basis to hopefully get the fish to come in. Let's just talk about the kit I'm using. Rod-wise, got a Daiwa 10-11 tournament, got it at 10 foot. As I've said, I've only got a nice little 30-yard plop. Nice little short rod. It means when I'm playing the fish, they're going to come up a little bit closer to me, just makes them easier to net, just makes the whole process a little bit more efficient. Reel line, 6-pound Guru drag line, nice and robust for method feeder fishing. That's all I want when I'm fishing the Method, a main line that is robust and isn't going to let me down. Now we'll move on to the business end. I've got a 24-gram Guru XA feeder. What I've done is I've changed over the stem in the feeder. Normally the small 24 grams come with a little tiny stem. With this one, I've changed it to the long stem just to give me a bit more elastic in the feeder. The reason being, I'm catching quite a few stocky carp around the £1.5 to £2 mark. So the longer stem is just going to help cushion the, sort of when they're nodding the head around the rod top, just helps minimise hook pulls. In case you're worried as well about the safety aspect of the elasticated feeder, because if the main line should break above the feeder, with most elasticated methods it can't get rid of the feeder, but with the Guru XA version the elastic literally pulls out the bottom of the feeder like so. So it is elasticated, but it's still a safe way of doing so. So that's the feeder. Then I've got a little short 4-inch hook length of 0.17 Guru N-gauge. I find 4-inch is the optimum length for a method feeder hook length. If you think about it, what's happening is I'll have my bait on top of the feeder, the carp sucking from above, so the hook length needs to be long enough so that hook pellet can just fly up into the carp's mouth, and as it turns, then you need that sort of bolt effect just to get the hook to go home. So 4-inch hook length. Then we've got a size 18 MWG hook. I've tied it on using a knotless knot. Then instead of having your conventional hair, I've got just a little bait band. And on the bait band, if you can see there, I've got a 6mm hard pellet. I mean, hard pellets are a great all-round method feeder bait, particularly this time of year when the fish are being a little bit picky. So that's my actual setup. Let's just talk a little bit about the bait. Round the feeder, I've got some 3mm wetted down feed pellets. Literally, I've just wetted them down using cold water, so as you can see, they're nice and spongy, and when I mould them to the feeder, they're going to stick. If I just show you how I go about moulding the feeder. Method mould, I'll just put a few pellets in the bottom of the feeder like so. Then I'll lay my hook bait on top, then a few more pellets, then put the feeder on top like so. And just give it a nice hard push. So basically you can't apply too much pressure at this stage. Just press the back of the mould or just flex the mould and the feeder drops out, ready to go. If I want to put some more pellets on, we can do what's called double skinning. I can put some more pellets in the mould and apply them like so, and just double the amount of bait I'm introducing. Today though it's still quite cold, so I'm just going to take that off and I'm going to minimise the amount of bait I'm feeding. So just do the whole process again. Drop the hook bait in, a few more pellets, and there we go, the completed method feeder. What I'm going to do now though is add what I call the piece de resistance, as in what's commonly known as the goo. This is tutti frutti flavour. It's not on the market at the minute. It's a product that I've been trialling since last October with some really good results. The idea behind it, it can be used for loads of different things, for like adding to spod mixes, bagging waggler, potting in, but what I've done really well is adding it to a method feeder. As I said, this one's tutti frutti, and the way to add it is just literally smear it on the feeder itself like so. So I've got a nice gooey coating. Then when you cast out, that feeder's going to hit the surface. It's going to be a big, like, a luminous cloud, and that cloud and the flavour, once the fish are in that cloud, they just love it in there and they'll stay in it, and it's going to attract more and more fish. So when I'm fishing method up to islands, by adding the goo, I'm just giving that my bait a lot more sort of potency, as in a lot more cloud. Once the fish start feeding, digging that cloud up, it's just going to attract more and more fish, and my swim is just going to get better and better. So the goo's on, let's get it back out. Just to demonstrate the effectiveness of the goo once it's in the water, I'm just going to squirt a little bit into this bait tub. So as you can see, it's gone in, there's a bit of an initial cloud on the surface, but if you imagine once a fish sort of gets in amongst that, it just starts ripping up the bottom, and look at that cloud effect. You know, that's got to attract carp, and the proof is in what's happening today. The more I'm casting out, putting the goo into the swim, the more carp are coming in. But once you see that cloud, you can see just why. There you go, a lovely makings mirror carp. Proof again of just how effective the goo can be.